Welcome to the Whisky Burn. My name's Jay and this is my Whisky Den. This week, slightly different. This is a book review, A Passion for Whisky. So here we are, the Whisky Burn doing a book review about whisky. This book, A Passion for Whisky by Ian Wisniewski. That's quite hard to pronounce here. Have a look at this. A Passion for Whisky, how the tiny Scottish island of Islay creates malts that captivate the world. Ian Wisniewski. I'm saying that again because I learned how to pronounce it and quite impressed. So here we go, got some whisky to go with the book. Don't worry, I won't be reading pages to you. So why did I want to do a book review on A Passion for Whisky? Well, it was a gift. And I thought, right, I'll start reading it like you do any book, like you do any present. And as I was reading it, it was so well written. And I wanted information, I wanted nuggets. And I didn't want someone to waffle on about the history. And then this year there was this, next year this, it's like, we don't need that. I want nuggets. This has happened, this has happened, this has happened. So I'll quickly read you the chapters. So you've got introduction. The irresistible rise of Islay malts. Then the next chapter is ingredients, climate and production process. Sounds a bit technical, but it's not. Next chapter is deconstructing malt whisky. Then it goes in a decent amount of pages about all the distilleries on Islay. And not only that, I've been wanting to get this one. It's chapter 9, page 144. Now, just before I show you it, look, this is some of the artwork as well. It's a hardback book, really nicely done. I mean, it says it's £25 on the back here, so it should be good. So this, absolutely beautiful. Kalila, it even has pronunciations. This is one that I really want to try. The Kalila 12-year-old. The tasting notes on that are crazy. So what does this do? This book talks to you. Let's go back to chapter 1. The Irresistible Rise. It talks about how Islay started and how all the distilleries started, like Bowmore, they were one of the ones that started it, and Lafroig. So they're the sort of ones that started it, and then you got Talisker coming in there. And then it talks about how blends took over from single malts, and now they're sort of making a bit of a comeback. But it always references back to Islay. You've got the climate over there talking about the peated, the heavy peated smells, which is why you get things like Lafroig that's quite medicinal. It talks about the weather, everything like that. You know, what makes an Islay whiskey Islay, really, I guess, peaty. However, you go through this and you think, oh yeah, it's just all about peaty whiskey, but it's not. So for example, here is the map of Islay. You've got Kilchoman, which is pretty strong in that sense. Bowmore, Brewer-Claddock, Bunnahabhain, Ardeno, Kalila. And then what shocked me, you got Lafroig down here, Lagavulin, Port Ellen, Ardbeg. You know, some of these aren't just peaty whiskies. And it goes on to tell you in the book about why that is, which is really interesting. So for example, I just flopped open at Kalila. It talks about the history of it. It talks about how many people were employed. It talks about where it's going and how long it's been there and has it moved. And it also has Kalila tasting notes at the back for you of each section. And it's a fairly decent amount of pages as well. So for example, the one I want to get is the Kalila 12-year-old. Vanilla rises above a platform of oak and toast, then a bouquet of roses followed by digestive biscuits, a burst of limes and grapefruit. All that in one nose sniff. I've definitely got to try some of this. And this is another reason why I want to try it. Palate. Soft mouthfeel becomes lightly creamy. Elegant apricots nestled in vanilla. Really juicy. Sweet oranges turning into orange marmalade. Suffused with gentle smoke and dryness adding structure. Can you imagine that in a whiskey? And then to finish, fresh, tangy citrus juiciness with toasted oak and a gentle waft of barbecue notes, which basically I think means smoking. Now, There's a lot of other stuff in here. Independent bottlers and cask influencers. There's a section all about that. So basically, Ian has gone to Islay and has gone round all of the distilleries, making notes on them all, talking about them in such detail, but it's so nicely written that I am not a book reader. You know, I don't sit there and read a book a week or anything. This will take me a little while. Not like all year, but a little while, just because I pick it up when I feel like it, not like, oh, right, it's bedtime now, I've got to do some reading. I'm not like that. So for me to say that this is really well written and really nice, and it's sort of, it's from his point of view as well. There's lots of facts in there, but it's like his journey. And there was a really interesting one that I think it was 1986. They started a festival, a whiskey festival, on the island. Which, every year they have a whiskey festival on Islay, which obviously stopped for a couple of years because of COVID. But yeah, you know, it was Port Ellen. It talks about it. It's just not. I don't feel like it's rushed. You know, some books are like, yep, here, this is the distillery. Fact. As much as I like fact, it's fact. This book goes into more detail, but in a kind of a non-boring way. Lefroy. It starts by saying whiskey originated in Ireland, then arrived on Islay, and we perfected it. That is Ian Henderson, who was Lefroy's distillery manager from 89 to 2002. Quite acclaimed, don't you think? But it's stuff like that. You got little nuggets in there of just, oh right, I didn't know that. I've learnt so much from this book. Especially pronouncing Colella. I used to call it Keola Isla. And I used to call Arbalaw, and it's Arbalawa. It's amazing. So if you're after a gift for someone, this is stunning. It's absolutely stunning. I'm led to believe there are others in the... I'm having a look at the backs. I've not looked. I'm led to believe that he's done other ones about whiskey as well. Not yet picked any up, but like I say, this was a gift. So if you're into your Islay whiskey, or you know someone that's into whiskey and starting their journey and getting going, great book, A Passion for Whiskey, all about Islay, Ian Wisniewski. There you go. Oh, and I'm not even adding in my whiskey yet. So it wouldn't be a whiskey without a whiskey from here. So this is an Ardbeg, smoky. So there you go. Who would have thought it? I never thought I'd be doing a book review. Especially on a whiskey channel. There you go. A Passion for Whiskey. Beautiful book. Enjoy your whiskey. And enjoy your reading. Sláinte.